Hi everyone, how are we? This is Charlie with Literary Gladiators. This is my take on the Red Queen from. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Phenomenal book. I'm gonna bend the rule here a little bit. I've done this before. We have the rating scale 1 to 5, 5 stars per minute. I'm giving it a 5. I know I broke that rule, but it's my video, so that's why I'm doing it. Why did I give it a 5? And why am I so happy? Well, it's considered a young adult book, and at first I was like, it's YA, not really my thing, but I read it. And it was based on, I personally I can't even talk, that's how excited I am. The protagonist, her name was Mayor Brown, and she was what was considered a red. There were two different types of people, two different classes in this book. Almost think about the feudalism France, feudalism in England in the early days. Let's go back and think about that for a little bit. The Reds, and I wonder why they were called Reds, but we'll get to that in a moment. They worked, and they lived in a place called the Stilts. The houses, if you even want to call them that, were basically on stilts. They were hole in the walls. Very, very poor, very, very, they had to steal some of them. They had to, that's how they made their living. And they would sell their wares in the market, and they would make things, and, she had a sister named G, and she was very well liked by the Silvers. I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but work with me here. The Silvers were brilliant. They had everything they wanted given to them, made for them, catered to them by the Reds. Because that's what they did, and that's how they earned their living, if you want to call it a living. Penalties were very steep. Even if you were dying for something to eat to keep yourself alive, they would execute you. Very, very nightmarish, and very, very dystopian. So, when I read the first couple chapters, I'm like, this is amazing. Wow. And this is YA? I'll double check. So, G was able to get some liking with the Silvers because of her works that she did with her hands. I think she knitted, and it was just beautiful what she did. And she was able to cross over to the Silvers where they lived, because they were up. They were, you're here, we're here. This is us, this is you. So everyone knew their place, and everybody was just fine with it. So, but there's always room for, like, hey, we like what you're doing here, so here's a little extra of that, and then, but still, there's an ongoing war, been going on. Once the kids finish school, they are sent to fight, mandatory. Some of them don't come back. And those who do, it's not very pleasant for them. Their father was in a wheelchair, just to give you an example. Now, the Silvers, on the other hand, lived in palaces, and they had all these arenas. They had everything, like I said, everything they wanted. The Reds were just their slaves. Oh, we have to pay them just so they can work for us. And to me, like I said, that was feudalism France, feudalism Britain, when we broke away from the crown, but I'm not going to go down that road. So, I made some connections there. Why Reds? Well, the Reds were really ill-equipped for war. They were not doing very well. So I wonder if that's just, their blood, maybe? I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Mayor, she steals, just so she can live. And one night, she got caught. She was never able to get caught. She had the fastest fingers in the land. And this character, I think he came out of a tavern or whatnot, And he grabbed her hand, and she's like, that never happened. And he said, thief! And then he softened up. And when she kind of like, she had no trust in anybody and at this point, he said, my name's, they broke the ice a little bit, and he gave her a huge coin that the Silvers would use for currency, whatever. And she was very much taken aback, because that coin was like a month's worth of supplies for the family. And it so happens that there was another connection later on. So just really, you got to read this in order to understand it. It's just, I don't know how else to impress this upon you. It's there's twists, there's turns. They find out that this mare is not really a red. She's not really this or really that, but she's always under a microscope, like a specimen. She's under a microscope because her sister gets her into the where the Silvers live, and they're trying to help one of their friends get out of war. They're trying to get him out, smuggle him out, because they would smuggle food and other items just so they can live. But they weren't taking humans. But apparently, heads were turned, money was given to some. Once they found out what was going on, they realized that she had these powers that no one else knew about, and they then kept her there, and they were going to try and turn her into a princess, and they were going to try and turn her into a queen. She had to go for lessons, she had to go for this, she had to go for that. There's a lot of other things that I've left out, because I really want you to read this at your spare time, but it's amazing what power can do to people as well. She also finds out being in this place is not really what it seems. Under constant pressure to be proper. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do anything. You had no freedom, you had no... But you had everything given to you on a silver platter, on gold platter. You had goblets, chalices, you had all of that. But, read it. Let us know what you think. Let us, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I was going to slide that in there. But like I said earlier, I know I broke the rules. 5 out of 5. Really good for those who, and we got back to school coming up too. So if you're one of our viewers who's on the younger viewers who want something to read, or just need something to do for school, this might be a good start. I think it's a series as well. This is, I think, the first one in the series. Really take a look into it. I think you'll be really pleased. So, not going to talk to you about the ending. I'm not going to spoil any more than I already have. But that's all I got for right now. So as Josh would always say, for now, keep reading. And then I would always say, keep eating. So I'm going to go eat that cold bowl of soup over there that I made earlier. Peace out, yo. Ah!